One last thought on Tower Heist talking about the 80s. Matthew Broderick is in this film. He captures. He's a former Wall Street guy who's lost his job in this economy, has lost his apartment, and there is a scene where the camera is very close to him, and he is explaining how he's become a squatter. And for Matthew Broderick to have this very deadpan kind of, I don't care that I am breaking the law by staying in my house. It was subtle, and it worked. And maybe it was Broderick that sold it, but this movie might have a little more weight than just a light caper.
Yeah, no, he says, it's a very poignant line. He says, I went to Yale 20 years ago, and now I'm a squatter.
Yeah.
And so...
Well, and the way they shoot it is interesting because it's very close up on him, and you're able to see in a very raw way what Matthew Broderick authentically looks like. I mean, we're not talking about, I thought that was significant. So, okay, streaming wars. Let's talk about films that are available, heist films that are available. I picked some more eclectic ones this week that I wanted to talk about. When we talk about heist movies, particularly heist movies with ensemble casts, we're always going to look to Ocean's 11. I think the original film with Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack, of course, brought back with Steven Soderbergh, probably a better film, I'd say, Ocean's 11, and then its progeny sort of trail off from there. Of course, George Clooney and Brad Pitt recreating the Rat Pack in a way. Those are the movies that sort of come to mind when you think of ensemble casts and you think of heist films. However, I think there are others that we need to tell readers about, and I will have where to find these films online and where you can stream these movies on dailyfilmfix.com. But there's a movie by Michael Mann. Now, most people think, heist film, let's talk about Heat. Well, in 1981, Michael Mann made a movie with James Caan and Tuesday Weld, as well as Willie Nelson was in it, along with James Belushi. And the heavy in that movie was played by the grandfatherly Robert Prosky. Do you remember Thief?
I do, yeah. I liked it a lot.
Thief.
Yeah.
And, I think it's one of Michael Mann's best films next to Collateral. Another heist film that a lot of people may not know about, and it is available, for example, you can get it on Blockbuster and iTunes, is Quick Change. This was a movie in 1990, co-directed by Howard Franklin and Bill Murray, who also is the star. It stars Gina Davis as well as Randy Quaid as well. And this is a heist movie. Do you remember seeing this one?
I have a vague remembrance of this one. I can't help you much on this.
Well, this is a heist movie where Bill Murray is dressed as a clown, and he enters the bank dressed as a clown, and they get away with the heist. Now, as you know, like Thief and like Quick Change, and a little bit like Tower Heist, it's not about the caper itself. It's about what happens after the caper is completed. Now, there's always hitches during the caper, but it's what happens afterwards. And Quick Change is probably one of the funniest what happens next, or what happens after you successfully complete the heist movies that I can remember. One that I think is funny, but also darkly funny, is Sexy Beast. That's the 2000 film directed by Jonathan Glazer. Do you remember that one?
I love this movie.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That has Ray Winstone as the pretty boy gal. Of course, he's not so pretty anymore, and he's living in a villa in Spain or something. Yeah. And he's visited one day by Dawn, who's played by Ben Kingsley. And it's a Ben Kingsley performance like no other you have ever seen.
You were talking about Wired.
My
tightly
gosh.
strung. This guy is just it.
And it's a movie that cannot possibly be shown on regular television. So if you ever see an edited for television film, Ben Kingsley is probably not in the movie.
Yeah,
his language is unbelievable in the movie. Another actor in the film is Ian McShane, which of course we remember from Deadwood. But Ian McShane,
this voice.
He is just amazing, but he is so coolly calculating. And they do a heist in that film that involves a pool, somewhat similar to Tower Heist, but not as important. The pool is much more important in Sexy Beast in a number of ways. Comedic heist films, A Fish Called Wanda. Also classic heist films, Rafifi, which I have not seen, and I have ordered it from Netflix because it's only available on DVD by demand. That's the 1955 Jules Dassin film.
Jules Dassin.
And now you've seen that one.
Years and years ago.
Okay.
I'm a big Jules Dassin film fan, though, and yeah, it's excellent. It's one of his.
Well, and I watched the trailer,
films.
and I'll put it on Daily Film Fix. It's on YouTube. I watched the trailer today, and I could tell that, of course, Jules Dassin was working in exile, in a sense, when he made that film, because he was a blacklisted director, as I remember from reading. And so this film has a very hard edge. It was not made in America, and so it's an interesting film. I think I can't wait to see it. From what I see from the trailer, it looks very dark. The other film that I think is worth noting in this list, and there are so many heist movies, is The Asphalt Jungle. That's the 1950 film. Of course, it's Sterling Hayden. John Huston directed it. I think that if you're going to watch a heist film, that The Asphalt Jungle is probably one of the best that you could see. Sam Jaffe plays Doc, who is who's the calculating criminal that plans out the heist. And then there is also a glimpse, and of course she factors in Marilyn Monroe is in this movie, which is kind of cool, very early in her career. So those are a few heist films. I'll put where to find them online. Surprisingly, they're not all available for streaming, which I found surprising.
Yeah.
Asphalt Jungle, for example, is available for streaming on Netflix, which is where I watched it recently.
Well, and let me chip in a couple more. From the same period, there's The Killing by Stanley
that's the
Kubrick, and I know
Stanley
that's
Kubrick
streaming
film.
on Netflix. You have to look up elsewhere. But then, a film that really ends up inspiring so many that came after is Bob the Thief. Bob Le
You
Flambeur. It's a
mentioned
French
that.
film.
I have not seen it.
Jean-Pierre Melville is the director, the writer-director, and he is sort of he's a paternal figure for the French New Wave folks, and so he sort of preceded them and supported them and whatnot, and sort of showed them the model for how to make movies the way that they did. But I mean, you're talking as recently as Tarantino and Soderbergh. They know that film too and borrow a little bit from it. And it's sort of the opposite. This is the movie where we watch the criminals plan out the heist beforehand. It's not really about what happens afterward, it's what happens before. And so all the movies, the heist movies after who focus on that part of it, that's where they got it. Sort of owe a debt to that one.
What I thought was interesting when I watched The Asphalt Jungle again is that the movie Drive, it starts Ryan Gosling, it's directed by Nicholas Winding Refn, which has made a lot of buzz and will probably get some Oscar consideration. I think Sterling Hayden, his performance in The Asphalt Jungle is very much akin to what Ryan Gosling is doing in Drive, and I didn't think that until after I watched the movie again. I hadn't seen it in years and years, and I watched it recently. Now, this is our last show for some time. We'll probably come back maybe in a couple of weeks. We're going to be doing a project together, and you probably never see it, but we're going to be doing a project. I've got an editing project that I'm doing.
Optimist.
And I just finished a short film about Richard Linklater, which got some festival consideration.
And it's very good.
And you've seen it. And you are doing something at the university, which is exciting. I know I'm springing this on you. You're embarking on maybe a 4-year. Is that something you can talk about?
Not really. We are.
You're in the beginning stages.
We're possibly going to.
I can cut this out if I have to.
We have proposed a bachelor's program at Gainesville State College. It would be called a bachelor's in communication, but there'll be a film and video, digital video production concentration and multimedia journalism concentration within that. It's passed on our campus. Now we'll see what the state thinks of it.
Well, and we've talked about what's going on at Gainesville State College and the program that you're working on up there. We did a show where you were actually in the studio there,
Control board,
and I anticipate over this month, because we're doing a project together and I'm working on other things, to get up there and see your facility. So hopefully I'll take the camera and maybe do a little something for Daily Film Fix up there.
Yeah, that I can talk about.
Yeah.
We have new facilities that
That's
we're
right.
very lucky to have and very grateful to have, and we're just starting to get to use those. We literally moved in 2 months ago. They're still wiring things when we moved in, and so now it's sort of up and running and ready to go. And so we'll be doing more there.
Well, I can't wait to go and visit it, and you'll see it here on the Daily Film Fix, or on the Film Fix, which is our television incarnation. I guess finally, to wrap things up, we have Regal Cinemas. We shoot at Atlantic Station here on the street, and Regal Cinemas at Atlantic Station has been sharing some movie passes with us, and I was a little late in getting the Thing movie passes. They've given us like 20 movie passes. So if you're in our area and you want movie passes to see the Thing, and it's still in release, I have those. In addition, they shared with us, again a little late because I didn't go pick them up, but they shared with us the Three Musketeers. So we've got several, I think we've got about 10 passes for those, and I will put the information on Daily Film Fix on how to get those passes.
Which we didn't get to see, and so go get the passes,
they didn't screen it
see
for
it,
us, did
you
they?
let us know what you thought.
Yeah, so the whole steampunk thing that's going on with that, with flying ships and stuff. And then of course Mila Jovovich is doing her acrobatic kicks and everything.
Sure,
it might be worth seeing. Certainly, she's always worth watching. So this week, Tower Heist gets a fix rating from me. How about you, Mew?
Yeah, I agree.
A Brett Ratner film gets a fixed rating from this man. So obviously you got to go see Tower Heist. It's a Thanksgiving film, and it's appropriate for this month. I'm Jonathan W. Hickman, and this is Jeff Marker. You can always join us on the web by going to dailyfilmfix.com, where you can feed your movie addiction.
Did you hear Duncan Shane playing, by the way? Matthew Broderick film, Duncan Shane is playing.
That's right, from
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Bueller's Day Off, where he's